From Washington, this is VOA News. Syria's President Assad issues a serious statement toward Turkey. And after 4 days, no end to a government shutdown in the U.S. I'm Vincent Bruce, reporting from Washington. Turkey's parliament voted Thursday to extend by a year a mandate authorizing the deployment of troops to Syria if necessary. The legislature approved the measure despite strong political and public opposition to any involvement in Syria. Dorian Jones reports for VOA.
The main opposition, Republican People's Party, or CHP, strongly opposed a motion renewing a mandate to allow the government to send troops to Syria, which Turkey's parliament passed with a show of hands. The CHP condemned the ruling AK party's policy of backing Syrian rebel forces and claimed the mandate would further ratchet up regional tensions. Semih Ediz, diplomatic columnist for the Turkish daily newspaper Taraf, says that despite the mandate to send in troops, the government is unlikely to use it.
The government has the mandate, but it doesn't have the opposition on its side and it doesn't have public opinion on its side.
Dorian Jones, VOA, Istanbul, Turkey.
More details at voanews.com. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad Friday warned neighboring Turkey will pay a heavy price for supporting what he referred to as terrorists in his country. In an interview aired Friday on Turkey's Halk TV, Mr. Assad accused Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan of allowing extremists from over 80 countries to cross the border. On day 4 of a partial U.S. government shutdown, the Republican leader in the U.S. House talked tough, appearing to back away from reports that he would defy members of his own party to make sure the country doesn't default on its debt, while the president and vice president visited a local sandwich shop, which is giving a discount to furloughed federal workers. VOA congressional correspondent Cindy Sain has the story.
With some 800,000 federal workers furloughed and others working but having their paychecks delayed, President Obama made a visit to a sandwich shop near the White House.
To all federal workers who are on furlough.
President Obama repeated his calls for House Republicans to allow a vote on funding the government. House Republicans met Friday, and their leaders came out repeating their message that they believe the health care law is unfair to Americans and must be changed.
The American people don't want their government shut down, and neither do I.
Republican House Speaker Boehner.
All we're asking for is to sit down and have a discussion and to bring fairness, reopen the government, and bring fairness to the American people under Obamacare.
For now, there seems to be little common ground on Capitol Hill. Cindy Sain, VOA News on Capitol Hill.
The politics surrounding the partial U.S. government shutdown has led Mr. Obama to cancel his trip to the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in Indonesia. White House Press Secretary Jay Carney called the cancellation a setback to creating U.S. jobs through promoting exports and advancing American interests in the region. But he said the president remains committed to rebalancing U.S. policy toward the Asia-Pacific. Sheikh Ibrahim Amour, a Kenyan radical cleric, and three of his associates have been killed in Mombasa. The deaths of the 4 men sparked protests and riots in the coastal city after Friday afternoon prayers. Kenyan officials say the rioters burned a church. For VOA, Mohammed Yusuf reports.
Kenyan officials and witnesses say an unidentified gunman killed a cleric and 3 others Thursday evening as they traveled home after delivering summons at Musa Mosque in Mombasa. Security officials have accused Sheikh Omar of radicalizing young people into terrorism, but police deny killing him. Witnesses say police engaged in running battles Friday with Muslim youths in the impoverished Mombasa neighborhood of Majengo. The Kenyan Red Cross reports 1 person was killed and 8 others injured. However, the Mombasa police commander, Robert Kitur, said the situation was calm.
They attempted to burn one of the judges, Salvation Army, but we have put out the fire.
The investigation is ongoing. Mohammed Yusuf for VOA News, Nairobi.
Clashes erupted after Friday prayers in Egypt as thousands of supporters of the nation's ousted president, Mohamed Morsi, attempted to demonstrate against the military government that deposed him. Demonstrators seemed determined to take to the streets in Cairo and several Egyptian cities, despite a weeks-long security crackdown and hundreds of arrests of Muslim Brotherhood backers. I'm Vincent Bruce, VOA News, reporting from Washington.